All right, folks. One thing that wasn't happening last year or even before, all right? You could short sell a stock and 6 months later or 1 year later, actually tell the SEC, you know what? Yeah, last year or 6 months ago, I was short, this stock. But you know what? It's so foggy. It happened so quick. I don't even remember, the details of that position or that trade, and you could get away with it. Now things are about to change because Mr. Gary Gensler, all right, on its mission to clean up the mess in this current market. And it is a mess, all right? Not only for AMC and GameStop stocks. This is for the entire market, and it's way more bigger than just you and I waiting for a short squeeze, even though this will benefit us indirectly, all right? Now, the thing is, now he's saying that, well, on top of delaying, of disclosing your short sale activity on a daily basis, all right? If you are a company having $10 million in a position short selling a stock or short selling a stock with a 2.5% ownership on the total outstanding shares, then you have to tell us exactly what is your short selling activity on a monthly basis. I mean, this is just mind blowing because when you look at the details of this, well, these are pretty much all the short sellers into AMC stock. So, let me back up for a second. What you may not understand or you may not grasp is two things. Well, the more you have transparency over this whole thing, all right, the more you have data made public to whoever out there wants to see it, it impacts two things majorly. First of all, remember that short sell squeezing or short squeezing, it's a trading strategy. When you buy a stock, it's because you want the stock to go higher. It's because you have significant reasons for the stock to go higher. So if a company or a bank, a company stock, or let's just say company stock, is being shorted to oblivion, well, now you cannot really get to the pulse of that, get to the bottom of it because the data is not properly calculated. The short interest, it's not taking into account what the short sellers are doing and are not being reported. So now that they will be reporting it on a daily basis or on a monthly basis for the big ones, now you can actually target who are the companies that are being highly shorted and then make your research. What is the future of the company? What is the reason why these are shorting? Is this something that is worth shorting? If it's not, then I'm going to bet my money, my investment against the short seller because at some point they're going to get squeezed out. That is literally what happened in GameStop and AMC January and June last year. Now, on top of it, it solves the whole naked shorting, synthetic shorting thing. Why? Because they have been hiding these through payment for order flow. They have been hiding these through draw pools. And that's how the short interest is kind of what remains affordable, right? 20%, well, it's not that big. But in reality, when you take into account, when you factor in those millions of fake shares, then it can go all the way up to maybe, 100%, 500%. Nobody knows the exact number because nobody has the transparency on how fake shares are out there. But when you look at the amount of volume being traded so far last year, it's 5-10 times the total outstanding shares. So where are all those shares coming from? If it's not fake shares. Now that we have this transparency coming from the SEC, led by Mr. Gensler, well, it's going to be a lot more harder to hide those positions because if I am to report on a daily basis what I'm doing, and on top of that, if I'm taking a loan, this was something that was already put last year. The SEC proposed that we need a rule to require brokerage firms and asset managers that lend securities to short sellers to report the data on each loan to an oversight body like the FINRA, within 15 minutes of making the loan. So not only on top of disclosing your activity, You actually have, as somebody lending the shares, tell the FINRA that, hey man, this guy is just took in the last 15 minutes, this guy took a loan and I think he's about to short sell the thing. So it's going to make things a lot more easy to track the short sellers, and it's going to make the life of short sellers a lot more difficult. Hence, you already know, if they cannot continue to manipulate through fake shares, then the share price is going to moon. There is no way around it, because the reason why the share price have been stuck so far down is literally because, well, they are continuing to do what it's supposed to do. But the time is coming when that will not be possible again. And that's where we win. And we win big.